there's always kind of an added reminder that you are a woman in the space. There's always subtle things like when people assume you're supposed to, offer them coffee or or lead a meeting, or that you only focus on the social, right? Like that you don't have a greater context of what the true economic impact is, or why the environmental is so important, or what those metrics look like and why those impacts are important. So I wouldn't say it was particularly associated with Lend Lease as an organization, but I think anytime you're in a large corporate environment that's in a field that's predominantly led, directed, or focused on a different group, by a different group, you tend to have challenges. And I think what I learned was truly there was being creative on how do you overcome it, how do you get buy-in, and kind of the mentors that I picked up sometimes weren't always in sustainability, but were in different fields, because there's just very few women in real estate or development, like especially in development construction. They would kind of come from different segments of the business, but they all kind of shared the same kind of philosophy. Like, one, know your stuff. If you don't know it, find it out. Find someone, oftentimes outside of the business, who can help give you that sounding board or feedback, so you know when this is a real deal breaker or this is a navigate around it. And then what was also helpful for me was just kind of understanding the broader landscape, like where I could pull levers of change. Because I think a lot of women get frustrated because you're kind of trying to take what seems like should be the path to approach an issue, and sometimes it's frustrating because it seems like a longer path, but you have to kind of do a zigzag to get to where you need to be. So I think what I took from that was it actually helped in what I'm doing now, is because there's multiple ways to get there. So I didn't always kind of take the first no as the no. It helped me look at, well, why is there a no, and what can I do to, get around it.
Was there one person in particular, a woman, that you might have looked up to, or who is big in the industry now?
I call them like pocket experts. They would kind of like help you kind of see the path, or encourage you when they saw like you keep running into the same wall. It was kind of helping me to see that there were minor moments where you can make an impact, that it didn't always have to be like a grandiose launch of a program, but it could be in little ways so you can make a difference. And so what helped me was looking at outside groups. So like Urban Land Institute was super helpful for me. So I joined like their women's leadership kind of WLI program. It just helped me feel not so alone. It helped me to just connect with another group of women in real estate adjacent, construction adjacent roles, just to understand there were other people out there, and that, like what their roles were. Because oftentimes within companies you'll find a lot of like in marketing, HR, some finance, but not in development, or kind of like the kind of tactical delivery and execution functions. So that was helpful. ULI was kind of the core one that kind of helped me. USGC was also helpful. The other that I recently joined was Urban League launched a fellowship for real estate developers of color. And so it was sponsored by Amazon's Housing Equity Fund. And so I just joined that fellowship, and it's just kicking off, but it's kind of exciting because it helps me to see how others are navigating the industry and how they've kind of navigated careers and projects and things like that.